instead of palette, something else, because it's very nice surface for mixing your color. I use this one, some porcelain container. I bought this one from Daiso, or you can buy it anywhere. This is porcelain, and it's very good for mixing color instead of palette. Just blocking around it there.
That's already beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a thick size. I try to cover it very fast because I prefer to finish it. Okay, so right now, drawing my color with a piece of paper towel. I can lift up my color, because with watercolor, we can add color and we can lift it out from the paper. So right now, I'm gonna add some white space for lip. I prefer add some green orangish for this part. So right now I'm gonna let it dry and then add color for my bird. So I prefer to add some cool colors, because all of these colors almost are warm colors, and I'm gonna have some cool colors for my bird, and then add some warm color to have a good movement and transition on the color. So right now I use sepia or Payne's gray. I can add a little bit blue. And start with lightest color with some short lines, because I'm gonna see my stroke and try to make a texture for the bird. I'm gonna add some of those warm color that I have in my palette already. With my palette from the background color, just add a little bit warm color. So right now, when my surface is wet, I use tip of the brush and add some small details, but as you can see, when it's wet, it's blur and blend very nicely and softly. For head and wings, I use more Payne's gray and blue, maybe indigo. Oh, maybe try a little bit purple on it. Yeah. Okay, so use the whole side of brush. Then blend more color. If my color is too intense and bright, I can add more Payne's gray or sepia or earth umber to make it down and a little bit less brightness. But my focal point is my bird. A little bit, it's cerulean blue. Okay, right now that's enough. Okay, so I add some color on the wing. So right now that's enough, but after the background, I'm gonna back to leaf. But I have to blow dry it. Sorry if it makes some noisy. I can turn off my microphone to dry. Okay, that's dry, and I'm gonna take a big and round brush. I take a big brush because I don't want to add too much details. I'm gonna have some loose stroke and very flow color. So I used a very light yellow. Use the whole part of my brush. I'm gonna add a lot of overlapping shapes here. I'm more crowded on the right side. So while my color is dry, I'm gonna add a little bit orange or yellow or over the yellow. So I'm not trying to blend it, it's already blend together and give me a nice shading. For some parts, use yellow ochre, a little bit red sienna. My watercolor brand is St. Petersburg. I work with Schmink or Daniel Smith, all of those. But that one, it's very good, and I'm used to this color. I like it, and actually, I think it's not very expensive, but it's hard to find it. So right now, I take another brush. I usually use this brushes that has some angle like this. I'm gonna add my branches. I start with lightest color, get sienna or rose sienna. It's good option there. As you can see, I start with light brown, but maybe I can make it darker, make it more defined, and make it 3D. So right now with some flat brush, I'm gonna make these edges on top of the branch a little bit smoother and lighter.
So the brush is dry?
No, it's not. Always I take water and then, just a little bit, not totally dry, but a little bit, just take too much water and then touch on top of the branches.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. But just the main key is always when you take it off, you need to wipe your brush because it gets color and we cannot move it to another place. For those ones, I'm gonna make green. So right now, take earth umber, darkest color. I can add a little bit red. Give us nice color, red and earth umber, and then add it on top of the brown.
Oh.
But I'm not adding like outline it, some part add more, some part add less, and then it's gonna be move and blend together. So red and earth umber. So I'm gonna add more branches and other direction.
Wow, that adds such definition.
You like it? I'm gonna repeat it again with some color.
Behnaz, while you paint, you may want to talk about what type of paper, what type of paint you use.
Oh, okay. For the paint, watercolor, the brand, do you mean? Yes, Hadi?
Yes, the brand.
The brand, I said this is the St. Petersburg watercolor, but I work with Schling or with Daniel Smith. I like that one too. But this right now, it's St. Petersburg watercolor. And my paper is, but this is rough texture. It's the paper is look orange. The orange one has some rough texture. Green one is medium, and the other one, the other color, I think pink, has very smooth surface or whatever. But this is rough paper. And this is very big, is yeah, 14 to 20 inch. So I'm gonna, before drawing, I'm gonna again add brown and actually with red. To get it more definition, more pretty effect, and look back and emphasize for some parts of color. So right now, I'm gonna take this brush with these angles and add some small detail combination of burnt sienna and burnt umber, not too much dark, and then make a nice connection between these leaves. I can add more. Yes. So okay, right now I'm gonna back to add details of my girl here. A little bit warm color. Just use my palette color that I have already in the palette and add a little bit warm color here. Then later, take more sepia and paint gray. Do I have still time? Yes?
Yes, we're good. Thank you.
Okay, right now I'm gonna use some dry to dry technique for on top of the color. Dry stroke means less water and just load my brush with color, and the texture that I made, it depends on my paper. If I use some rough paper like this, I have very rough and strong texture. If I use smooth paper, of course my stroke is gonna be very smooth. So add some small detail. Circle the eyes. So right now I can trim my shape. If it's not very nice, I can make it, I can fix it. So add more dark colors in the bottom with some dry stroke. But we have to make sure that our background, it has to be totally dry when we use the dry stroke. So right now I can add a little bit warm color again and red it. I use some limited palette. I didn't use too much color. Just with this limited colors, we can create different neutral color. So if it's too much of darkness, I can pick it up. So take it in brush and take pink spray again for eyes. It's not going to be that much light, a little bit blended. And add the color on the bottom. So right now I use new water. I'm gonna come back to background and add a little bit dark values. I'm gonna use red sienna and red, combination of red sienna and red. Right now my surface is dry. I can leave it some parts of background color as a negative space to create some leaves on the background. Then add more water to blend it very nicely behind this color. More color on top of the paper. loose brush and a lot of movement. I can add more.
I've never added another layer of the background color, and I'm really thinking it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna add a little bit greenish here to get it more green happy. Yeah. This is olive green. Just make sure not blending with dirt. When I have some values on this part of the focal point or some lines, we have to move our values on the other side too. Even though it looks like what we call our painting, we have to make this movement. So we can still make it darker. Right now, instead of red, I added a little bit magenta. Very flow and light colors on the back. And this part is so red. That's why my color blending together. You can add more water. Make some good composition. And right now I'm gonna come back again with some of these beads and make it more stronger. I'm gonna get this orange stronger and make it thicker. This thing. I'm not adding the whole part of this dark value. I get some parts. And this, yeah, I have to off and blue dry. So add some small tip. Looking for my red sienna. Add more definition for something. Yes, I'm gonna move my warm and cool color everywhere. And also maybe a little bit cool green on top of this.
That's always the hardest part for me. The feet.
Yeah, but take it easy. If we start with a light color, and if we make a mistake, we have to replace it very quickly. We can fix it. But yeah, always details is a little bit hard and stressful because it's already done, and sometimes we can join our painting with in the last minute. So that's why I don't want to work on it too much. I prefer to keep it this way. Just add more black and more definition to the eyes and this one. So as you can see, this part and that one is a little bit different. That one is more softer and this background is very crowded. So You know, this is the beauty of watercolor. It depends on our mood. We can add more details. We can leave it that way. You know, it depends on your decision. Of course, for this one, somebody wants to add more details, work on it to make it more realistic. But I prefer to leave it that way because this one has very smooth and just some movement of the warm and cool colors, and we can see some, you know, uh, focal point for this part. But maybe we can add a little bit. I'm not sure. Is it better to add more details or not? What do you think, guys? Would you like to leave it this way or add more details?
No, that looks good.
I agree. I always, yeah, I would mess it up now. I say it's perfect.
Thank you.
And you made it look so easy.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I think it's done.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it really gives you the feel of fall.
Oh
It
yeah.
was perfect
Yeah.
fall painting.
Just beautiful.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to paint tomorrow.
Oh, something. This painting, sorry, I added some details. I'm gonna show you this one too. Sometimes we're gonna add some details, some definition for the leaves, but not too much. For that painting, I added some very tiny lines, but I'll show you. Really loose lines like that.
Oh, on the leaves. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And no, again, you can dab it paper towel and fade it, you know. It looks like it is, but it's not, you know. Not very strong line because this style doesn't have too much details, but a little bit definition with very loose lines and light value, and then you can, yeah. And then you can see the difference. I'm not sure, is it clear on the camera or not? But
Yes, yes,
it is.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
And Behnaz, I think some people wanted to know for you to repeat the paper type and paint type you use,
Okay.
and also brushes.
Oh, okay.
And I'd love to see her palette.
Oh, okay. This is my watercolor St. Petersburg.
Oh, St. Petersburg. Oh, okay.
Oh,
And this is my watercolor.
mm.
And
Okay.
I use to make this one too. And always you can see this paper as a reference because some of those look is very similar. It's very hard to figure out which one is indigo, which one is ultramarine blue, which one is cerulean blue. But if you make this palette, you know, it's easier to find your color. This is my watercolor St. Petersburg, but for just one of those color, I use Golden Artist.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
know Golden.
Oh, QR. Okay.
Project I use just yellow oak, but the other one I haven't used that one. So my paper is what rough paper. The other one is green.
Is this your favorite rock?
Yeah, this one is cold press grain fine. That one has less texture, and that one has more texture. This is very rough and has more texture. This one is grain, fine grain. This, look at this, my watercolor.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Thank you. This is a picture from Carmel. I took this picture and painted this one. Maybe this way it's easier, I don't know. Anyway, this one, I use this paper, green paper, cold press,
cool.
very fine for this painting. But
What size? 14.
this is my watercolor.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you. Maybe that one is easier to show you.
How do I make that one start?
This picture and this is my arrangement of still life.
Beautiful.
And sometimes we can make really quick sketch like this. This is
Wow.
almost 5 minutes sketching with watercolor.
Beautiful.
But right now I use this paper.
Huh?
It
Oh,
has,
yeah.
you know, it has very rough texture on it, you can see.
I think you used very limited color. This is only, yeah.
I use just paint spray,
Yeah.
indigo,
And burnt sienna.
burnt sienna, of course, is my favorite color. Oil painting or watercolor, always I use burnt sienna.
And
this,
what else? Yeah.
about this one,
Oh, there's the palette.
different palette for watercolor, but some of those, if you find a good quality that is very expensive, it's fine. Even though if you buy some cheap palette, you can see when you want to mix your color, it looks like oily. It doesn't blend very well. But if you use this porcelain plate, it's very easier to use, and then you can wash it and make it gonna be very clean, and you can use it again. I buy this one from Daiso. Do you know Daiso store, Japanese?
Yes, very cheap.
I think, yeah, $2, $3, something like that. I use usually two. This is all the colors that I use today.
Ah.
Oh, that is
Thank
you use there today? No.
Today I use just this one. That one was burnt sienna, but it turned to
No, that is sepia. Looks like sepia.
oh, because after I added sepia, remember for this part I added sepia. I start with burnt sienna or raw sienna, and then add sepia or Payne's gray. So for brushes, there are I use different brands. These are for this brush is a silver one. Look at those one.
What brand?
Silver.
Silver?
Yes. Look.
Naragoda?
because yeah,
I don't think there is a
this
brand
is
name in silver.
bought from Jerry's or Click Click. And the other brushes that is my favorite one is this angle. Look at that one. But there are different brand has this style because you can use, look, it's feeling like draw.
Oh, good.
What kind of brush is this?
This is it has some angle. This is silver, exactly the brand. I can take a picture and send it to you, or maybe yeah, if you want, I can send a picture of these brushes and send it.
Okay.
Yeah, please do. That would be really good. Thank you so much.
Silver
Let me take a picture of this.
is not a silver.
Is it a dagger brush?
It's a dagger brush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shape, right? It's called
Silver.
dagger.
But there are different angle. That one is too long. The other one is not here.
What size?
This is one.
Just
for-
one size?
Actually, maybe. See, guys? No. Yeah.
Almost.
I cannot read it.
Quarter in? Or 1/4?
What
Okay.
is it?
The chat. Okay, it's easier. Yeah.
And what is the brand name?
The brand is actually it's silver, but it has some black velvet, but it known with silver.
Oh, so the brand name is silver.
Yeah.
Thank you,
there is
Behnaz. This was amazing.
silver.
Yes, it was. Thank you
Silver,
very
yeah,
much.
silver black bell. Black velvet. Thanks. Thanks.
This is very cheap brush from Michael.
Nice.
Any question?